do want to talk about baggage claim in Nashville for a second, if I can, because I got an email.
You got to let it out.
I got an email.
You got to let it out.
Well, it's a specific email here, because on Nateland this week, we complained. Aaron Weber was at baggage claim, and the bags got all backed up. They got wedged in there together and got backed up. You remember that happened to us when we were there, and I jumped up on the thing and unwedged all the bags. You remember that?
Yep.
All right, so Aaron was saying he was there and that happened, and he asked a lady that worked there, could he jump up there and unwedge the bags? And she said, no, absolutely not. And he was like, well, can you do it? And she goes, no, I have to call someone. So they stood there for 20 minutes, and nobody came. And finally, a little Asian lady jumped up there and ripped the bags apart, and everybody got their bags. But this lady says, after hearing you guys vent about baggage claim for 20 minutes, which I also hate, why do you still check a bag? Why don't you just pack everything in a carry-on suitcase? Last time I checked a bag was in 2014, and I just used my carry-on suitcase. All right, and this is why. For one thing, at this particular trip that we just took, there was no way to do that. But I don't think you're asking about this particular trip. I think you're asking for me and Aaron, and when we're just doing weekend gigs. I tried that one because I used to carry merch. So for a long time, I've been dealing with checked bags because I'm like, well, I already got to check this giant bag for merch. So I might as well carry another big bag for myself and be able to spread out a little bit because I'm going to need to check it too, because I get 2 free checked bags. So that's what I would do. But once I had a merch team that took over my merch, I was like, great, I can finally just use a carry-on bag and not have to worry about checking it everywhere. And then I don't have to wait for it at baggage claim. This will be a dream come true. This will be amazing. Me and Hannah went out. We went out to a store. We bought a little bag. We were shocked at how much they cost. But we bought a little bag, and it was like, life has changed. Here we go. We're on a new path in life. No more checking bags. And it was just a beautiful day. We walked out of that department store, and the clouds parted. The sun came through, and we were like, we're on to a new day. A bird flew over, landed on my shoulder. I gave him a little Snickers bar. He went tweet, 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 tweet. It was just beautiful. You remember that?
Yep.
And then, so what happened was, when I have to connect everywhere I go. Very rarely do I get direct flights. Unless I'm going to a big city that's a hub, then I never get direct flights. I'm always connecting. And a lot of times I'm on these tiny airplanes. So this is what started to happen to me. I would be sitting at the airport, and they would go, hey, whatever they say, this is basically what they're saying. Hey, you're about to get on a real small airplane, and there's no overhead space. So we're going to need all of you to check your bags with us, and then you'll get it off at this flight. So what started happening was, I have to check that bag there, and then I fly, say, from Nashville to Chicago, and then I get off the plane in Chicago, and I have to stand there and wait for them to bring my bag to me on the jet bridge for me to go get my connecting flight to, I don't know, say Des Moines, Iowa. And then I'm in Chicago, and they're like, hey, you're on a real small plane going to Des Moines, Iowa, so we're going to need everybody to check their bags. So then I have to check the bag again. So now I'm waiting twice for a bag instead of just waiting one time. And I got to haul it around with me everywhere I go. Every time I go to the bathroom, I got to take a bag in there with me. I like to check the bag.
It's more of a headache.
It's more of a headache than waiting for it at baggage check at the end of the trip. All I'm saying is I fly all over the country. I've been to so many airports. I've checked a bag and picked it up at baggage claim at so many airports. Nashville is the worst. I cannot believe how continuously bad it is at our airport for baggage claim.